Hey, second grade. Welcome back. It's Miss Baroker again, and we are into our next chapter. We are at chapter 7. So this chapter is money and time. So before we get started today, if you have any coins at home, it would be a really good time for you to start identifying those coins. So looking and identifying what's a nickel, what's a penny, what's a dime, what's a quarter. And then practice counting by fives and counting by tens, just to make sure that we're ready for the money part, because that's the hardest part, is figuring out what coins are what coins. So if you have coins at home, work every night with your mom or dad or whoever is at home with you and try and identify each coin and how much that coin is worth. It will help so much. So if you can do that, please start doing that, okay? All right, today we're just going to be doing our introduction, so just those 2 pages. It's not a complete lesson. So all we're going to do is we're going to open up our Chapter 7 workbook. Hopefully you have yours. To page 464 and 465. And I'm going to rip those 2 pages out. If you don't rip out your math pages, that's fine. Just find the pages and then we'll get started. So if you need to, pause the video. Get yourself all figured out. Okay, so let's see. It says order numbers 100 to 100 on a number line. Write the number that is just before, between, or just after. All right, so here we're looking at a number line. We have a box here, and it goes 58, 59. So what would go here on that number line? 57. Good. So we'll write 57 in that box. And then number 2, it goes 24, box 26. What would fill in this box? 25. Mrs. Klingeman just came in to say hello. You guys know her, right? All right, so we're going to count by fives, write how many in all. So like I said, it'd be a really good time for you to practice at home counting by fives and counting by tens, just so we're better at it, right? We want to be pretty good at counting, and it will help us with our money and our time. So let's count by fives, write how many in all. So here we go. We have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So let's just make sure that we got all of them. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Perfect. All right, so how many paints are there in all there? 25. Okay, we're going to do the same thing, but this time we're going to count by tens. It says write how many in all. So here we have 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. All right, let's double check our work. Let's see how we did. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Perfect. And then we have 50 paints in all. And that's it. That's all we have to do. All right. Let's look down here. Time to the hour. Wow. We're already doing time to the hour. Let's just... Sorry about that, second grade. I was just getting a little bit nervous that I was maybe in the wrong chapter, but I am not. So we are going to keep on going. I was actually right this time. It's a shock for us all, I'm sure. Okay, but it says write the time shown on the clock. That's better. All right, so we haven't really talked about time. So maybe you're really good at telling time already. Your parents have taught you. Maybe you learned in first grade. If you did, that's awesome. You're going to be an expert already. If not, I'm going to give you a quick lesson. So every clock, it has a long hand and a short hand. Now, what kind of trips kids up, and some adults too, is we think that that long hand is going to be the hour hand, but it's not. The long hand is the minute hand. And how we can remember that is if I write the word minute, I'm going to write it over here. and then I write the word hour, which word is longer? Minute. So the minute hand is going to be bigger because it has to fit the word minute. The hour is going to be shorter because it's a shorter word. So minute is the long hand, hour is the shorthand. Okay? So we're going to look at that shorthand first and figure out where that shorthand is pointed so we can figure out the hour. So here we have the shorthand. I'm going to make it go all the way across my clock. You can do that too, just so I can see really easily what it's pointing to. So what is that hour hand pointing to? 11. So it's 11. Put my dot there. And then we got to figure out the minute. And the minute can be kind of hard. So how a clock works is each one of these numbers, when you're counting around the clock, it's going to count by fives. So if we start at the 12, that is 0. We're going to start at 0 for 12. And then it goes 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. You guys are counting with me, right? 50, 55. And then we're going to be back at 0. Because does anyone know how many minutes are in an hour? 60. So 60 minutes, when we go around all the way around the clock, it'll be 60. So this is 0, 0, or it's 60. But have you ever heard of anyone say it's 11:60? No. Because when you get to that 12, it means it's gone to the next hour. We've completed a whole hour. So that minute hand, if we look and we elongate the minute hand, bring it to the top, it's pointing to the 12. And that 12, if we look at what we just did around our clock, that's at 0, 0. So right now it is 11 o'clock showing on that clock. Okay? Ooh, that was a lot. Number 6, let's try it again. So again, the minute hand is the long hand and the hour hand is the short hand. So we're going to start out looking at the hour hand. So we're going to look at the short hand. And just like I did before, I'm going to make that hour hand go all the way to the edge of the clock. That way I can see really easily where it's pointed to. So that hour hand is pointed to where? The 5. So the hour is 5. Now we need to look at that minute hand. So again, remember, we count around the clock by 5s. I'm going to elongate that minute hand, and it's pointed to that 12. If I look back over here, that 12 is the 0, 0 mark. So it's 5 o'clock. Okay? So if you are practicing counting money at home and you're identifying coins and counting by 5s and 10s, another good thing to do is maybe practice telling time too. Because after we learn about money, we're going to learn about time in this chapter. So the more that you're practicing at home, the better you're going to be and the easier it's going to be for you. So try to make it easy. Practice at home. All right, let's go to the next page. Visualize it. Fill in the graphic organizer, show ways to count on. So count on by ones. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. What would come next? Well, we can start anywhere. Where do you guys want to start? Let's start with 25. So if we're starting at 25, we're counting by ones. What would come next? 25, 26, 27, 28. Okay, I'm going to stop there because I ran out of room. All right, we just counted by ones. Now we can count on by 5s or 10s or hundreds. What do you want to count on by? I'm going to count on by 5s. But you can choose something at home if you want to do something different. So I'm going to say 5s. All right, so I'm going to start the first one by 5. So we'll start at 5. Then what comes next? 10, 15, 20, 25. Okay. Now let's start at 75. So we're at 75, 80, 85, 90. All right, there we go. Let's go down to that bottom. Just understand vocabulary, write the missing numbers in each counting pattern. Count by ones. All right, so we're counting by ones. So we're at 40. If we're counting by ones, what would be the next one? 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47. Perfect. Number 2, count by fives. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. Good. Next one, count by tens. I'm going to give you a few seconds to try that on your own. Go ahead. Count by tens. All right, let's check it. 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Perfect. How'd you do? Thumbs up? Good. All right, so that is all we're going to do today. But if you have some time today, it would be really good to start identifying coins, practicing how much each coin is worth. If you're not sure, ask your mom and dad. I'm sure that maybe at your house you have like a big bowl or a big bag, or you have a bunch of change probably somewhere. Go ahead and start sorting through that, identifying, putting all of your pennies in one, all of your dimes, all of your nickels, all of your quarters. And then if you figured out what they're all worth, you could practice counting it. Also, you could practice with a clock. If you have a clock that looks like this at home, practice telling time. Ask your mom and dad, ask grandma, ask big brother and sister to help you out. Okay? If the more that you practice at home, the better it's going to be this chapter, because this can be a very, very hard chapter. So if you're doing some extra work at home and you're practicing, you're going to do a really good job. Okay? So start practicing, and I will see you all tomorrow. See you later, guys. Have a good day.